My friends, prosperity is not something that visits us by chance. It's an energy we invite, nurture, and allow to flow into our lives. When I say keep this near your window, I'm not speaking only of an object. I'm speaking of an energy, a state of awareness that you must keep near the open window of your mind. The window represents your openness to possibility, the light of new ideas, the breeze of opportunity, the gentle reminder that abundance is already in motion all around you. So, what should you keep near your window? Keep gratitude there. Gratitude is the fragrance of wealth. When you feel thankful for what you already have, you send a signal to the universe that you are ready for more. Gratitude transforms scarcity into sufficiency. Keep clarity there. When your intentions are clear, your actions align with purpose. The world responds not to your needs but to your clarity. Be clear about what you desire, not from a place of greed, but from a place of creation. Keep joy there. Joy is magnetic. When you do what you love with an open heart, prosperity finds its way to you effortlessly, silently, like the wind that finds every open space. And keep faith there. Faith is not blind optimism. It is a deep knowing that the universe is abundant, that you are not separate from this abundance, but an expression of it. When your window is open, when your mind and heart are open, wealth, ideas, opportunities, and blessings flow in. But when you close it with doubt, fear, or resentment, the air becomes still, nothing moves. So each morning open your window, let the light in, breathe deeply and remind yourself, I am connected to infinite abundance. I am ready to receive. Money is not merely currency. It's a current, a flow of energy. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in harmony with that flow, money doesn't just come to you, it moves through you, enriching not only your life, but the lives of others. Keep gratitude near your window. Keep clarity near your window. Keep joy near your window. Keep faith near your window. Do this, and abundance will not need to be chased. It will find you naturally, easily, and continuously. Because true wealth begins not in the world outside your window, but in the world within you. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion. It is the frequency of abundance. When you live in gratitude, you align yourself with the rhythm of the universe, a rhythm that is always expanding, always giving, always flowing. Every day, as you stand near your window and look at the world outside, you are given a choice to see what is missing or to see what is already present. That choice determines the energy you emit, and the energy you emit determines what you attract. When you choose gratitude, you choose flow. You choose to say yes to life. You become a magnet for prosperity because you are vibrating at the same level as creation itself. The universe is not withholding abundance from you. It is not deciding who deserves wealth and who does not. It simply mirrors back to you the vibration you hold. When your inner world is filled with appreciation, love, and contentment, the outer world begins to echo that frequency through opportunities, people, and circumstances. Think of gratitude as sunlight. When you allow it to shine through the window of your awareness, it illuminates everything it touches. Suddenly, what once seemed ordinary becomes sacred. The smallest details, a sip of tea, a smile from a stranger, the warmth of morning light become evidence of life's generosity. From that place, money and success no longer feel distant or difficult. They become natural extensions of the energy you already embody. Gratitude transforms your perception, and when perception changes, your reality follows. The person who constantly complains about what they lack reinforces the vibration of lack. They close their inner window and wonder why no fresh air enters their life, but the person who says, "Thank you for what I already have, thank you for what is coming," keeps the window open. the breeze of abundance flows through freely. This is not mystical thinking, it is energetic alignment. Science now tells us that the human heart emits an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond the body. When you feel gratitude, that field expands. It becomes coherent, harmonious, magnetic. You are literally tuning your body and mind to the frequency of abundance. You see, gratitude does not only attract material wealth, it attracts clarity, peace, and inspiration. It shifts you from survival mode to creative mode. Instead of asking, "How can I get more?" you begin to ask, "How can I express more?" And that single shift transforms your relationship with money, success, and purpose. True gratitude is not a mental exercise. It is not about forcing yourself to say thank you while you secretly feel anxious or dissatisfied. It is a state of being. It arises when you slow down, breathe, and notice the miracle that is always unfolding: your heartbeat, your breath, the vast intelligence that orchestrates your existence. When you feel that, even for a moment, you awaken to the truth, you are already wealthy beyond measure. The universe has given you a body capable of feeling, a mind capable of imagining, a spirit capable of loving. That realization creates a deep inner calm, and from that calm, external abundance naturally flows. The paradox of gratitude is that when you stop chasing, everything begins to come to you. You cease to operate from desperation and begin to operate from inspiration. You no longer demand from life, you collaborate with it. Imagine standing near your window in the early morning. The air is still, the world quiet. You place your hand on your heart and whisper, "Thank you," not to anyone in particular, just to existence itself. That one moment of silent appreciation sets a tone for the entire day. Opportunities arise because your mind is open. People respond differently because your energy has shifted. Challenges become lessons instead of obstacles. That is the subtle power of gratitude. It rewires not only your brain but your destiny. Every thought of appreciation releases serotonin and dopamine in your brain. These are not just chemical rewards. They are signals to your body that you are safe, supported, and loved. In that safety, creativity awakens. You begin to see pathways where none existed before. You begin to act with confidence rather than fear. Gratitude is not about pretending that everything is perfect. It is about recognizing that even in imperfection, there is growth, there is purpose, there is beauty. When you can be grateful even for the lessons hidden in pain, you turn adversity into alchemy. If you wish for wealth to flow into your life, start with gratitude for what already flows through it. Be thankful for your breath, your ideas, your connections, your resilience. Each of these is a form of wealth. Money simply becomes the reflection of that inner richness. When you keep gratitude near your window, you are keeping light near your life. You are telling the universe, "I am ready to receive, I am ready to give, I am ready to grow." So every morning, open your window. Let the light touch your face, whisper words of thanks. Let your gratitude expand beyond your home, beyond your city, beyond the world. The more you give thanks, the more the universe finds ways to thank you back. In that sacred exchange, abundance ceases to be something you seek, it becomes something you live. And that, my friends, is how money, opportunity, and blessings enter fast, not because you are lucky, but because you are aligned. Gratitude opens the window, abundance walks in. Clarity is the mirror of consciousness. It is the moment when the fog of confusion lifts and you remember who you truly are, not a collection of circumstances, but a field of infinite potential. When you keep clarity near your window, you allow light to enter your awareness without distortion. You begin to see the truth behind appearances. You begin to understand that every decision, every opportunity, every challenge is simply a reflection of your inner state of being. Most people live in a kind of mental haze. They are busy but not directed. They are active but not aligned. Their lives are filled with noise, opinions, expectations, distractions, and in that noise, their inner voice becomes faint. But clarity is the silence beneath the noise. It is the still lake that reflects the sky perfectly when the winds of thought become calm. Without clarity, even the greatest opportunities pass unnoticed. You might chase goals that are not truly yours, follow dreams borrowed from others, and measure success by standards that leave you empty. But when clarity is near, everything simplifies. Decisions become effortless, actions become powerful, and purpose begins to reveal itself. The mind is like a window pane. When it is fogged by doubt or fear, the view becomes distorted. You see obstacles where there are paths, and scarcity where there is abundance. But when you wipe away the fog with awareness, the light of truth streams in. You realize that life was never withholding clarity from you. It was waiting for you to become still enough to see. Clarity is born in silence. It cannot be forced or hurried. It appears naturally when you stop grasping and simply observe. Sit quietly near your window, breathe, and let the world move without judgment. In that space of stillness, a deeper intelligence begins to whisper, a voice not of the mind, but of the soul. That voice is your compass. It knows your true direction even when logic cannot explain it. When you live with clarity, your relationship with abundance transforms. You no longer chase money. You attract opportunities that are in harmony with your essence. You no longer seek approval. You express your truth with quiet confidence. Clarity gives you the courage to say no to what drains you and yes to what nourishes you. It sharpens your perception so you can distinguish between what is essential and what is noise. Every morning, when light touches your window, let it be a reminder to seek inner light as well. Ask yourself, what is truly important today? What deserves my attention? What aligns with who I am becoming? These simple questions can cut through layers of confusion and guide you back to your authentic path. Clarity also means knowing that not everything requires an answer right away. Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is to wait, not with frustration, but with trust. The universe speaks in its own timing. When you rush, you blur your own vision, but when you trust, life reveals itself with perfect timing. Think of clarity as a lens that focuses the energy of intention. Without it, your thoughts scatter like sunlight through a cloud. With it, your intentions become laser, sharp, capable of transforming imagination into reality. The universe responds to focused energy. It listens to those who know what they are asking for. But clarity is not rigidity. It is not about locking yourself into a single vision or plan. True clarity is fluid. It flows with life. It allows you to adapt without losing direction, to evolve without losing purpose. It's the understanding that clarity does not mean control. It means connection. When you are clear, you begin to see abundance as an extension of consciousness. Money, success, and opportunities are not external prizes. They are reflections of how clearly you are aligned with your purpose. If your intention is clouded by fear, your results will mirror confusion. If your intention is pure, your path will unfold naturally with a sense of grace. To cultivate clarity, begin by simplifying. Let go of what no longer serves you: old beliefs, outdated fears, unnecessary comparisons. Complexity creates confusion. Simplicity creates focus. When your life becomes lighter, your vision becomes brighter. Observe your thoughts as they pass, like clouds across the sky. You do not have to believe every thought. You are the sky, vast, open, unaffected. From this awareness, clarity arises. You begin to act not from reaction, but from presence. Every action becomes deliberate, every decision meaningful. Imagine sitting near your window at dawn. The world outside is quiet, and the first light begins to spread across the horizon. In that moment, your mind is still. You breathe deeply and feel clarity entering your being like sunlight dissolving mist. You understand that life does not need to be figured out all at once. You only need to see the next step clearly. And as you take that step, the next one reveals itself. That is how clarity guides you, not with a full map, but with a living light that moves with you. Clarity also teaches discernment, the ability to distinguish between the voice of your intuition and the voice of your fear. Intuition feels calm, expansive, certain. Fear feels tight, anxious, urgent. When you listen with awareness, you can tell the difference. Trust the voice that expands you. That is the voice of clarity. Keep clarity near your window, and your life will no longer feel like a struggle. You will act from the center of power, not the edges of confusion. You will make choices that feel aligned, not pressured. And when you act from that inner precision, prosperity becomes effortless. Because clarity is the highest form of wealth, it is the foundation upon which all abundance is built. With clarity near your window, you no longer chase light, you become it. Joy is not something to be found, it is something to be remembered. It is your natural state before fear, before comparison, before the noise of the world began to tell you who you should be. When you keep joy near your window, you allow your true self to shine through, unobstructed and radiant. Joy is the fragrance of the soul. It has no reason, no condition, no demand. It is the song your heart sings when you are in harmony with existence. You can feel it in a sunrise, in laughter shared, in the stillness between breaths. It is not in the things you acquire, but in the awareness that experiences them. Many people mistake pleasure for joy. Pleasure depends on external triggers, a new possession, an achievement, an approval. It rises quickly and fades just as fast. Joy, however, arises from within. It is not caused, it is revealed. When you connect to joy, you tap into a boundless energy that does not need a reason to exist. When you are joyful, you are magnetic. People, opportunities, and ideas flow toward you because joy is the language of creation. The universe itself expands through joy, the joy of being, the joy of expressing, the joy of evolving. When you resonate with that vibration, abundance becomes a natural extension of your inner state. Imagine your window as the opening through which life communicates with you. If it is clouded with worry or resentment, the light cannot pass. But when you keep joy near your window, the glass becomes clear. Every moment sparkles with possibility. Every challenge becomes a teacher. Every setback carries a hidden blessing. Joy teaches us to see the sacred in the ordinary. The sound of rain, the taste of fresh air, the warmth of another hand, each becomes a reminder that life is a miracle continuously unfolding. When you can find joy in small moments, great moments take care of themselves. True joy does not deny pain, it transforms it. It allows you to face suffering without being consumed by it. It whispers, even this has meaning. In that awareness, you rise above circumstances and begin to live from the unshakable center of your being. Keeping joy near your window means refusing to let external conditions dictate your inner state. The world may move through cycles of gain and loss, but your joy remains constant, like the light that never leaves the sky, only hidden sometimes by passing clouds. The greatest power of joy is that it multiplies when shared. When you bring joy to others through kindness, through presence, through compassion, it expands within you. What you give is what you receive. In this way, Joy becomes both the seed and the harvest of abundance. The ancient sages spoke of joy as the signature of the soul in alignment. When you are doing what you love, serving from your heart, or simply being fully present, you experience a state of effortless flow. Time disappears, effort dissolves. In that state, creativity blossoms and prosperity follows naturally. Joy is not separate from success, it is the foundation of it. When your work springs from joy, it carries a frequency that others can feel. People are drawn to your energy, not just your actions. They feel safe, inspired, uplifted in your presence. That is the invisible force that creates wealth, the energy of joyful service. To cultivate joy, begin by releasing the habit of postponement. So many people say, "I will be happy when I earn more money, when I find love, when life becomes easier." But joy does not wait at the end of the road. It walks beside you, whispering, "I am here now." Sit quietly by your window. Watch the light move across the room, feel the air on your skin. Allow yourself to smile, not because of something that happened, but because you are alive. That simple awareness is the doorway to joy. Every act done in joy expands your energy field. It heals the body, sharpens the mind, and strengthens your connection to intuition. Science shows that feelings of joy release endorphins, enhance immunity, and open neural pathways for creativity. This is not just philosophy, it is the biology of happiness. When you act from joy, you act from abundance. You no longer create out of fear or lack. You create because creation itself is joyful. And when you create with joy, the universe supports you because you are resonating with its most natural frequency, the vibration of expansion. Keeping joy near your window also means protecting it. Guard it from negativity, from the constant pull of comparison, from the belief that joy must be earned. Joy is your birthright. It does not require permission. Each morning, as sunlight touches your window, remind yourself, "I choose joy today." Not because everything is perfect, but because perfection is not the source of joy. Awareness is. Joy is a light that cannot be dimmed by circumstance. When you live from that light, money, health, love, and peace follow, because they are all reflections of the same inner harmony. Let joy be your guide, your practice, your presence. Speak with joy, walk with joy, breathe with joy. Keep it near your window so that every glance toward life becomes an invitation to smile. For when joy fills your being, abundance has no choice but to enter. It is drawn to the light that shines effortlessly, the light that expects nothing yet receives everything. Keep joy near your window, and life, in all its brilliance, will come to sit beside you. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It is the quiet confidence that life is unfolding exactly as it should, even when you cannot yet see the full picture. When you keep faith near your window, you keep hope alive in the face of uncertainty. You keep your heart open to possibilities that the mind cannot yet imagine. Faith is not blind belief. It is the recognition that there is a deeper intelligence guiding all things. Look at nature, the seed that becomes a tree, the tide that follows the moon, the breath that enters and leaves your body without command. Everything in existence is sustained by an unseen rhythm, a silent order. Faith is trusting that same rhythm within your own life. When you lose faith, you begin to close your window, fear settles in, doubt clouds your vision. You start to believe that you are alone, that you must control every outcome, that if you let go, everything will fall apart. But when you open your window again and place faith there, you remember that you are part of something vast, eternal, and compassionate, a universe that is always conspiring in your favor. Faith is not the absence of struggle. It is the strength to walk through it with grace. It whispers, "Even this has purpose. Even this moment is preparing you for something greater. It allows you to breathe in the middle of chaos, to rest in the middle of change, to trust in the middle of doubt. When you keep faith near your window, you stop measuring your progress only by what you can see. You begin to trust the unseen roots growing beneath the soil. Just as a seed must dissolve before it sprouts, some parts of your life must break down before new life emerges. Faith gives you patience to endure that transformation. Faith and abundance are intimately connected. Abundance is not only about wealth, it is about flow, the flow of opportunities, of relationships, of blessings. When you live in fear, that flow constricts. You resist, you worry, you chase, but faith relaxes you into receptivity. It says, I am ready to receive. I trust that what is meant for me will find me. Faith transforms scarcity into sufficiency. It turns waiting into preparation. It turns failure into wisdom. With faith, every experience becomes meaningful because you trust that it is serving your evolution. The mind often seeks certainty. It wants proof, evidence, guarantees. But life is not built on certainty. It is built on mystery. The deeper truth is that uncertainty is fertile ground for miracles. Faith is the light that helps you walk through that mystery without fear. When you sit quietly near your window, you may notice the subtle dance between light and shadow. The light never disappears, it only shifts. The same is true of life. There will be moments of brightness and moments of obscurity, but beneath them all, the source of light remains constant. Faith is remembering that constancy even when your world feels dim. To cultivate faith, begin by trusting small things. Trust your breath to return after every exhale. Trust the morning to arrive after night. Trust that every step you take is guided by a deeper wisdom, even if you cannot see the path ahead. Faith grows through experience. Every time you surrender control and witness life supporting you, your faith strengthens. Faith is also the foundation of peace. Without it, you are at war with time, constantly anxious about what will happen next. With it, you live in harmony with the present. You understand that everything is unfolding not to punish you, but to awaken you. Faith does not demand that you stop questioning. It simply asks that you question from love, not from fear. It invites you to trust the unknown, not because it is predictable, but because it is alive with possibility. When challenges arise, faith reminds you that you are not being tested, you are being trained. The delay is not denial, it is preparation. The obstacle is not punishment, it is alignment. Faith allows you to see divine timing in what once felt like delay. Faith is not fragile, it is powerful. It can move mountains, not by force, but by alignment. When your faith is strong, your energy becomes steady, your vision expands, and your actions carry the quiet authority of someone who knows they are supported by life itself. Keep faith near your window, and you will notice that your perception shifts. You begin to see signs, gentle reminders that the universe is listening. A conversation, a synchronicity, a sudden idea, each becomes a whisper of reassurance. You realize that nothing is random. Everything is connected in a tapestry too intricate for the mind to grasp. Faith invites surrender, and surrender is not weakness, it is wisdom. It means allowing life to move through you rather than trying to control its every direction. It means trusting that you can relax your grip and still be carried. When you live with faith, your energy radiates calm. People feel safe around you because your trust in life reminds them of their own. You become a channel of reassurance, a living symbol of peace, and in that peace, abundance flows because the universe always responds to openness, not resistance. So keep faith near your window. Let it be the light that shines even on cloudy days. Let it remind you that the universe is alive with benevolence, that unseen hands are guiding your journey, that everything you seek is already making its way toward you. Faith is not a destination, it is a daily choice. Each morning, as light enters your window, whisper to life, I trust you, I trust the process, I trust myself, and in that trust, watch how effortlessly blessings begin to enter. For when faith is near your window, doubt cannot stay, fear cannot linger, and lack cannot survive. Only the flow of divine abundance remains steady, certain, and infinite. Awareness is the silent witness of all that exists. It is the light behind your thoughts, the space between your breaths, the quiet observer that watches your life unfold. When you keep awareness near your window, you live not as a reaction to the world, but as a conscious creator within it. Most people believe they are their thoughts, their emotions, their experiences, but you are none of these things. You are the awareness that experiences them. Just as the sky remains untouched by the passing clouds, your true self remains unchanged by the fluctuations of circumstance. When you lose awareness, you drift through life half-leap, reacting instead of responding, chasing instead of choosing. But when you awaken to awareness, every moment becomes alive, every breath becomes sacred. You begin to see life as it truly is, fluid, interconnected, eternal. Keeping awareness near your window means keeping the light of consciousness open and clear. It is remembering again and again that you are not separate from life, but woven into its very fabric. The same intelligence that causes the stars to shine, the flowers to bloom, and the tides to rise, moves through you at this very moment. Awareness is the foundation of transformation. You cannot change what you are unaware of, but the instant you bring awareness to a thought, a habit, or a feeling, you begin to dissolve its hold over you. Awareness does not fight darkness, it simply shines, and darkness disappears naturally. When awareness fills your being, abundance becomes effortless. Why? Because awareness dissolves resistance. Resistance comes from unconscious fear, and fear only survives in the absence of light. Awareness exposes fear for what it is, a shadow with no substance. Once seen clearly, it fades. Abundance flows through awareness because awareness connects you to the present moment, the only place where life truly happens. When your attention is lost in the past or projected into the future, you miss the opportunities unfolding right before you. Awareness anchors you here, now, where creation takes place. The window of awareness is always open, but often covered by the curtains of distraction. The noise of technology, the pull of comparison, the constant stimulation of modern life, all these dim the natural brilliance of your inner light. But when you take a moment to breathe, to observe without judgment, the curtain lifts. You see the world as it truly is, radiant, interconnected, alive. Awareness transforms ordinary experiences into extraordinary ones. A walk becomes meditation, a conversation becomes connection, even stillness becomes music. This is the power of presence. It infuses everything with meaning because awareness itself is love in its purest form. When you are aware, you no longer seek validation or approval. You act from the completeness that awareness brings. You realize that nothing external can add to or take away from who you truly are. You become both the observer and the artist of your life, painting with calmness, intention, and grace. Keeping awareness near your window also means observing your inner world with compassion. Awareness is not harsh or judgmental. It is kind, patient, and forgiving. It watches without condemnation. It understands that every thought, every emotion, even the painful ones, are simply waves on the ocean of consciousness, rising, falling, and dissolving back into stillness. Through awareness, you become free, free from the grip of overthinking, free from the illusion of control, free from the fear of what others think. You begin to live with lightness, not because life has changed, but because you have. Awareness allows you to participate in life without being entangled in it. Imagine sitting near your window in the early morning. The world is quiet, the air is soft. You simply sit aware of your breath, aware of the sounds around you, aware of the stillness that holds it all. In that moment, there is nothing missing. You are not seeking, you are simply being, and in that being, you find peace deeper than any achievement could bring. Awareness is the meeting point between the finite and the infinite. Through it, the universe becomes conscious of itself. That is the miracle of human existence, that life, through you, can know itself. From awareness springs wisdom, creativity, and love. It is awareness that allows you to listen deeply, to forgive easily, to create freely. When you live with awareness, you act not from habit, but from clarity. You move not from fear, but from intuition. You no longer chase abundance, you radiate it. Awareness is not something you have to find, it is what you already are. You only need to remember. The mind may wander, but awareness is always here, patient and eternal. Every time you return to the present, you are coming home to yourself. To cultivate awareness, practice pausing. In the space between stimulus and response lies your freedom. Before you react, take a breath, observe, notice your thoughts without becoming them, notice your emotions without drowning in them. This simple act of noticing is the beginning of mastery. When you live with awareness, your window to life is always clean, always open. You see things as they are, not as your fears or desires color them. You experience reality directly, without distortion. That clarity invites abundance because the universe responds not to confusion, but to coherence. Awareness is not about escaping life, it is about entering it fully. It is about tasting the richness of every moment, whether joyful or painful, without resistance. Awareness does not choose experiences, it embraces them all, knowing each one holds a lesson, a gift, a piece of awakening. Keep awareness near your window, and you will never again feel lost. Even when storms come, you will know they are temporary. Even when darkness falls, you will know the light is not gone, it is simply waiting for you to notice it again. For awareness is the constant presence beneath all change. It is the silent witness that watches the sunrise and the sunset, the beginning and the end, without attachment. Keep it near your window. Let it illuminate your days, calm your nights, and guide your every step. And when you do, you will realize the window was never a barrier. It was always a mirror, reflecting the infinite awareness that you truly are. Compassion is the heartbeat of consciousness. It is the gentle force that connects every living being through the invisible threads of empathy and understanding. When you keep compassion near your window, you allow the light of kindness to enter every corner of your existence. You stop seeing the world as separate fragments and begin to perceive it as one living organism, breathing together, evolving together. Compassion is not pity. It is not the act of feeling sorry for someone. It is the deep recognition that within every person, the joyful and the broken alike, lives the same essence that lives within you. When you look through that lens, judgment dissolves. You no longer ask, "What's wrong with them?" You ask, "What pain are they carrying that I can help lighten?" When you open your window to compassion, you open your life to grace. The energy of compassion heals not only others but also yourself. It is impossible to hold compassion in your heart and carry resentment at the same time. One melts the other. Compassion softens the edges of your mind. It turns resistance into acceptance and transforms separation into unity. The modern world often confuses strength with hardness. we are told to compete, to push, to protect ourselves. Yet the strongest forces in nature, water, wind, light, are gentle, persistent, and inclusive. Compassion is like that. It flows quietly, but it shapes mountains. It moves silently, but it transforms hearts. Compassion begins with awareness. You cannot be compassionate toward what you do not see. So, the first step is to notice the suffering in others, but also notice the suffering within yourself. Too often, we give kindness to everyone except ourselves, but true compassion radiates outward only when it begins within. To heal the world, you must first heal the inner dialogue. Sit quietly near your window and place your hand on your heart. Feel its rhythm. That pulse is not yours alone. It is the echo of billions of hearts beating in harmony with yours. Breathe in and imagine inhaling the world's pain. Breathe out and send love in return. This simple act done with awareness can shift the energy of an entire day. Compassion is not bound by distance. It travels faster than thought. When compassion fills your awareness, abundance follows naturally. Why? Because compassion removes the barriers of separation that block the flow of giving and receiving. A compassionate mind does not hoard, it shares. It trusts that giving never leads to loss because life always replenishes itself. The more love you give, the more love you discover within. The more kindness you offer, the more opportunities come to you, drawn by the magnetic power of generosity. Compassion also clears the inner window of judgment. When you release judgment, you stop creating enemies. Every person you meet becomes a mirror showing you something about yourself. The angry person teaches you patience. The fearful one reminds you of courage. The indifferent one challenges you to expand your empathy. Life continually offers you chances to practice compassion, sometimes in ways that test you, but always in ways that grow you. There will be moments when compassion feels difficult, when someone's pain is too heavy or their actions too hurtful. In those moments, remember, compassion does not mean allowing harm or staying silent in the face of injustice. It means seeing beyond the behavior to the wounded consciousness beneath it. You can stand firm in truth and still act with love. That balance is the essence of wisdom. Compassion is also the secret ingredient in creation. Every great work of art, every healing discovery, every act of service arises from the desire to ease suffering or to bring beauty into being. When your intentions are infused with compassion, your work carries a vibration that others can feel. It transcends transaction and becomes transformation. To live with compassion is to live with open hands, not clutching, not grasping, simply allowing life to flow through you. What comes, you cherish. What goes, you bless. This openness invites prosperity, not only in material form, but in peace, joy, and connection. Compassion is a form of intelligence, the intelligence of the heart. The mind may calculate, but the heart understands. The mind divides, the heart unites. When you lead with compassion, decisions that once seemed complex become clear. You begin to see what truly matters, not winning or losing, not having or lacking, but awakening to the shared miracle of existence. Imagine a world where each person keeps compassion near their window, where kindness is as natural as breathing, where understanding replaces blame, where giving replaces taking. That world is not a distant dream. It begins with one conscious choice, yours. Start where you are. Smile at a stranger. Listen without planning your reply. Offer forgiveness even when your pride resists. Extend patience to someone learning. Send love silently to someone struggling. Each small act ripples outward, touching lives you may never know. Compassion multiplies like light reflected in countless mirrors. And do not forget to keep compassion for yourself. When you fall, speak gently to the one who stumbled. When you fail, embrace the lesson rather than the wound. When you feel lost, remind yourself that even confusion is part of the awakening process. Self-compassion is not indulgence. It is alignment with truth. You are not broken, you are becoming. Compassion is not a practice to add to life. It is the essence of life remembered. When you keep it near your window, the view changes. You begin to see the divine in every face, the teacher in every experience, the gift in every challenge. You realize that love, in its purest form, is not an emotion, it is awareness made visible. Keep compassion near your window. Let it color your thoughts, your words, your actions. Let it be the fragrance that enters every room you walk into. And when others feel its presence, they too will open their windows, letting the same light flow outward. In that moment, separation disappears and only connection remains. That is the quiet power of compassion, the power to heal the world by first softening one heart. My friends, life is always speaking to you through the quiet wind that moves past your window. It whispers through gratitude, clarity, joy, faith, awareness, and compassion. Each is a doorway to abundance, each a light guiding you toward your highest self. When you live with these qualities near your window, you live in harmony with the rhythm of existence. You no longer chase the flow of life, you become one with it. You begin to understand that wealth is not only measured by what you hold in your hands, but by the peace that fills your heart, the purpose that guides your actions, and the love that connects you to others. Gratitude opens the door to receiving. Clarity shows you where to go. Joy reminds you that life itself is a gift. Faith strengthens you when the path grows uncertain. Awareness keeps you awake to the beauty around you. And compassion teaches you that what you give always returns multiplied. Together they form the foundation of true abundance. When you keep them near, the world responds to your energy in ways that feel miraculous. Opportunities appear without struggle. People are drawn to your light. Challenges become lessons that refine your strength. So each morning, when you open your window, do so with presence. Feel the air, welcome the light, and whisper a silent promise to live this day awake and grateful. Let your thoughts, your words, and your actions come from the calm knowing that you are already complete. Life is not something happening to you. It is something flowing through you. You are not separate from abundance. You are its expression. The more you trust this truth, the more easily life gives back to you. Keep your window open. Keep your heart open. Keep these 6 lights burning: close gratitude, clarity, joy, faith, awareness, and compassion. When you do, prosperity and peace will find you effortlessly, for they have always been waiting just outside, ready to enter the moment you allow them in. And as you live from this space of stillness and connection, remember this simple truth: the universe is not apart from you. It is within you, moving through you, creating through you. You are both the window and the light that shines through it.